Okay, so is it visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
Okay, so here today I would like to discuss slightly a different topic. That is, I have fixed to say that about hybrid graphene field effect transistors. The topic is slightly advanced because if we compare the field effect devices or field effect transistor, what we have already studied in our engineering curriculum, they are basically junction field effect transistors, metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistors. But here, in this today's discussion, I want to explore a material-based field effect transistor. The channel is a different material. However, this type of devices are now exploring, and lot of researchers worldwide they are
Sir, sir, your voice is not audible, sir. Sir,
okay. It was not audible till what I have
no,
said.
no, sir, your mic is I think turned off. Just now you turned on, sir.
Okay, but from the initially it was muted.
Initially it's no, sir, it's visible and audible, sir. For the from the second slide, it's got muted, sir.
Okay, from the second slide it was
Yeah.
muted. Fine. Uh, so now is it visible and audible both?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Fine. So I'm just showing you the beautiful campus of our BITS Pilani campus in Rajasthan. The biggest one is this picture is the BITS Pilani campus. Except the Pilani campus, we have other three campuses. One is in Dubai, another is in Goa, and another is in South India, that is in Hyderabad. So you can visit here to see our facilities and the campus and few other interesting things over here. This is our nanomaterials device laboratory, the small facility what I have established here in our campus. In this particular lab, we are fabricating few simple devices and we characterize those. Only the electrical characterizations, other the material characterizations we took the help of other departments and other universities also and other research institute. So this is our facility. So what work I am going to discuss, basically all are experimental work and the devices are fabricated and tested in our lab. Outline of the talk here, first I will discuss few basics of graphene field effect transistor. The basic I will discuss without any mathematics, just a qualitative understanding of this basic device. So it will help us to understand the advancement of this device and its applicability for the advanced different applications. We will consider the graphene oxide field effect transistor. Instead of graphene, we will discuss graphene oxide field effect transistor. We will discuss binary hybrid graphene oxide field effect transistor. Here, one time we will consider metal oxide composite with graphene oxide to form hybrid FET. Noble metals, nanoparticles like gold, palladium, platinum, etc. will be hybrid with graphene oxide and it will be implemented for the field effect transistor application. So these are the binary hybrid for the FET application. And last one, I will try to accommodate this thing within the time, that ternary hybrid. So three different materials as a channel materials for fabricating field effect transistor. So first, I would like to say about the background of this graphene FET. Exactly, why this particular device is required to explore, and what is its actually relevance in current scenario, in current technological scenario. If we see the MOSFET has been explored in 1960 around, and you know the scaling, and due to the scaling, the dimensions of this MOSFET become smaller. And the short channel effect comes to the scenario, and that short channel effect basically create lot of problems in the normal operations of the normal conventional MOSFET. So people find different alternate solution. People researcher developed multi-gate field effect transistor, multi-gate MOSFET. They fabricated quadruple gate devices. They fabricated FinFET, etc. So anyway, we try to improve, we try to overcome the short channel effect of the MOSFET. But there is a general thinking that transistor, when reaches 20 nanometer of channel length, many researchers, they believe we are near the limit with the downsizing of the conventional used silicon-based MOSFET. Because what I have discussed now, that is completely based on the silicon technology. Under this scenario, when we are strongly facing the short channel effect, at that particular point, the different new materials are coming in the picture for developing different new types of field effect transistors. And you know, the CNT FET or carbon nanotube FETs is one of the very popular name in this particular category. But graphene is another wonder materials, was invented around 2 decades before. It shows it's a serious contender, mostly due to its very high mobility and high velocity saturation. And also, graphene shows purely two-dimensional nature. That is another beautiful attraction for fabricate it in FET structure. If we see the history of graphene FET, it was reported first in 2004. Since then, a number of graphene field effect transistors have been fabricated. Several models have been used, and mostly they are drift diffusion model. But these models are not considering the actual short channel effect. What was the basic requirement for overcoming the silicon-based technology? So there is a lot of opportunities still exist to work on this purely graphene field effect transistor. If we consider the carbon nanotube-based field effect transistor, it has been subjected to intensive research for the last decade. The limited control over the chirality and diameter of the nanotubes, the CNT FET is still facing some challenges. Also, these are tightly packed, and we know the CNT is very difficult to isolate in a single piece. So that is another problem of the CNT FET. But I can say the CNT FET is comparatively in much mature stage now. So considering all these situation and the current scenario, the graphene FET become very popular in 2004 onward, and a lot of research was already done in the last 10 years on this particular area. Mainly, the high mobility was the main attraction of these field effect transistors, and also the pure two-dimensional structure, and it can show very high current density in the initial condition. So these are the background of the graphene FET. Now I would like to say a few words about graphene, and then I will discuss the basic operating principle of this particular device. And then I will move to my work, which will be explained with the concept what I will discuss initially. So the graphene is a fascinating materials. Its conduct heats and electricity better than any other materials. It shows flexible nature, and it can be folded without breaking. And finally, we can say this is chemically inert and stable. So all these properties, they are very rare to find in a single materials. That's why graphene becomes so popular. But these are the very general properties, except that the electrical properties, what I have already discussed, the mobility and current conduction capability, they are also very high in case of graphene. If we see the band structure of the graphene, it's quite different as compared to the conventional metal semiconductor band structure. Conventional metal semiconductor materials band structure is approximately parabolic in nature, exactly near the band gap region. You can see here. No band gap, unlike an insulator, and no partially filled band like a metal is shown in case of graphene. This is the situation for insulator, where the valence band is completely filled and the conduction band is completely empty, and there is a finite band gap which can easily overcome by considering the external energy. In case of metal, we know the sometimes the conduction band is partially filled and it shows very highly conducting behavior. But if we see the graphene, it shows slightly different structure. This is like a conical shape in its band structure, and they are meet at a particular point, which point is called Dirac point. So because of this type of structure, the graphene sometimes shows metallic behavior, sometimes shows semiconducting behavior. So simply we say that graphene is a semi-metallic material. Now, the materials, the graphene, we will implement it in form of field effect transistor structure. So here is a simple schematic of graphene FET. You can compare this device structure with conventional MOSFET, but the device what showing here is fabricated by considering thin film technology, thin film transistor technology. That means layer by layer is deposited over each other. Okay, so if we compare it with the MOSFET technology, then there is some penetration of the doping layer. We have seen the source and drain was created inside the substrate, but here one layer is deposited over other layer and the whole structure has formed. So now here we can see the substrate here. This substrate can be considered as a P-type or N-type silicon. That's a doped silicon. And this is the back oxide, that is simply the SiO2 layer. And this is the channel materials. The channel material is graphene, of course. And this is the top oxide. This is obviously we can consider silicon dioxide or any other high-K dielectric material can consider here. And here this is the top gate, top metal, and this is the bottom metal. This metal should be conducting materials, and you can choose gold, other materials also. These are the source and drain exactly created top of this channel region, and they are basically responsible for connecting the drain to source voltage, where the gate to source voltage will be connected between top and the top and source and bottom back gate and source. So here the whole structure has been shown in form of 4-terminal device. So what is the main difference here? The channel materials in conventional MOSFET was purely silicon, which was depleted, inverted, or accumulated by application of different gate voltage. But now, in case of graphene field effect transistor, the channel material is completely different. It's not related to silicon anyway. This is a new material, that is graphene. So now, basically, by application of the gate voltage, different gate voltage, the carrier concentration in the channel is modulated, and the device can consider in under on and under off condition. So here the VGS we are considering here that creates a field effect in the channel which repels or attracts electrons or holes. Basically, by the application of the top gate voltage or back gate voltage, we basically inject some additional electron or extract some electron from this channel region, so the channel can change its conductivity. One can use some different high dielectric material as a dielectric layer to increase the gate control over the channel. Now, the graphene field effect transistor, its characteristics is looking like this. The carrier density as a function of channel voltage is showing like this type of V shape or parabolic shape. And this particular point, the carrier concentration, carrier density is minimum here, is called the Dirac point. Basically, the V Dirac is a very important parameter to consider to explain the graphene field effect transistor, because the V Dirac is the gate potential when the Fermi level passed through the Dirac point. Okay, Dirac point I have already shown in the energy band diagram. When the Fermi level exactly located at the middle of the band gap, then we can say the particular gate to source voltage is called as the Dirac voltage. What is the channel potential? Channel potential is the difference between the Fermi level location and the Dirac point. So now at particular certain gate voltage, the carrier density will be minimum for the graphene FET because electron and hole concentration will be equal. I will discuss it with some other structure. So now few slides I have added to discuss the basic operation of this graphene field effect transistor under biasing condition. So structure we have discussed. Now what we are considering, the source and drain terminal and the channel region is the graphene is now represented with its energy band diagram. Now the energy band diagram is considering here with partially filled or some different condition can be considered, which will be created by the application of gate to source voltage. The whole biasing arrangement we are considering when the drain to source voltage is 0. That means no potential has been applied between drain and source. Under this condition, if we consider the case 1, that means the gate to source voltage is less than the Dirac point voltage. Okay, so the valence band is filled partially. So what we can see, the most of the part is vacant. So the graphene will behave like a p-type material. The hole will be the majority carrier and electron will be the minority carrier. Now under this condition, if the gate to source voltage is decreased further, then of course the Fermi level will be located at much lower level and the hole concentration will increase and the electron concentration will decrease for this device. If we increase the gate to source voltage towards the Dirac point, this is the Dirac point level. So of course the hole concentration will decrease and electron concentration will increase. So now we will consider the case 2 where the Fermi level is exactly overlap with the Dirac point level. So the valence band is completely filled and conduction band is completely vacant. So here we can say the electron and hole concentration is exactly equal, and at that particular point this graphene will show the minimum conductivity. So for the FET application, this condition is considered as the switch off condition. Okay, now if we exceed the Dirac point voltage, so we are now applying more and more positive voltage through the gate to source terminal, so that this voltage is now crossing the Dirac point voltage. So the conduction band is now partially filled. So the hole concentration is quite low here and the electron concentration is quite high. So this graphene is now behaving like a electron majority material and current will flow due to the electron considering as the majority carrier. So the whole discussion, we considered that drain to source voltage is 0. So only one voltage, gate to source voltage, has been applied here. If we apply the drain to source voltage simultaneously, now this is not 0, this is slightly more. So this energy band diagram will be slightly different. We should discuss this because this is the more practical and realistic approach, because we are considering the field effect transistor. We have to consider the two voltage component, two field we should consider simultaneously for the appropriate operation. So now we are considering VGS and VDS, both the voltage has been applied here. For the case 1, when we are considering the gate to source voltage is less than the Dirac point voltage, V Dirac 0 means the Dirac point when the gate to drain to source voltage was 0, we are indicating that particular voltage. However, what is it? In the energy band diagram, simply we can say the channel is showing the p-type majority, hole concentration is measured. But in the source end, this situation is slightly different. Fermi level is slightly closer to the ED or direct point level, because the drain voltage is maximum at the drain end, but minimum at the source end. And ideally, the source is connected to ground. So basically, there is hole concentration is more at the drain end as compared to the source end. If we consider the VGS equal to V direct 0, the earlier situation, so the EF and ED is coincide at the source end, and rest of the part is showing the hole majority. Case 3, when we consider the gate to source voltage is in between V direct plus VDS and the V direct, then we can see the EF and ED is coincide at any point in between the channel. Suppose this is the point, okay? And rest of the part here, it will show the n-type behavior, electron is the majority, and this portion, the hole is the majority. If we apply the drain to source voltage in this condition, the hole will flow from the drain to source, and electron will flow from the source to drain. So basically, the effective current or resultant current will flow from the drain to source, okay? Now, in the case 4, when the VGS is equal to V direct plus VDS, so this is the point where the drain end, but the EF and ED is overlapped. Now, the last condition, if the gate to source voltage exceeds the V direct plus VDS, then we can see the drain end, there is a difference between EF and ED. So these are the different qualitative approach. You can directly relate this thing with the operation of MOSFET. And this is nothing different, but its mechanism, the material is quite new. So obviously, the change of carrier concentration will be different, and that can be visualized by the energy band diagram. So these are the basic operations and operating principle of graphene FET. Now I will start my work, what we have done in our laboratory. First, I will show you the graphene oxide field effect transistor. I have discussed graphene FET, but now I am discussing graphene oxide field effect transistor. Why? Because our application is basically the gas sensing or VOC sensing. It's a sensor application. Pure graphene is inert. It has very less possibility to react with the ambient species. So compared to graphene, the graphene derivatives, that is called the graphene oxide or reduced graphene oxide, they are more popular. So we are fabricating the graphene oxide based field effect transistor for different sensing application. So first we will see what we are considering for our particular device fabrication. We are considering graphene is a material having large number of surface atom. That's why we have chosen it. Ambient sensitivity increases in graphene oxide by surface functionalization of different oxygen group. Pure graphene show very high surface to volume ratio because almost whole thing is the surface, because this is purely 2D material and one atomic thick layer. So it shows the whole surface, and which can be easily functionalized by the different oxygen group. If we remove this oxygen group partially, then this material can be converted from graphene oxide to reduced graphene oxide. Sometimes this reduced graphene oxide is more effective than the graphene oxide for sensing application. So now here we are considering this GO or RGO based field effect transistor for sensing application, gas sensing application, and sensitivity amplification is a new thing, but is our work. So what we introduce here, how we can improve the sensitivity of a sensor by applying the suitable gate to source voltage, I will discuss here. So first, our device. This device is fabricated in our lab. So you have to compare this device with the initial graphene FET what I have discussed. There is a significant difference. What is the difference? The earlier image what I have shown, that is a top gate device. Of course, there was a back gate. But now this device is a graphene field effect device, but this is completely a back gated device. There is no top gate. So you can see here, this is the source. Suppose this is source and this is drain. and this is the channel layer or graphene oxide layer. It had been placed over the SiO2 layer, that is the dielectric layer. This is the substrate, and this bottom SiO2 has been etched by HF, the hydrofluoric acid, to create a bottom gate contact. So backgate voltage has been applied between this backgate and the source terminal. This is the VGS voltage, and the drain to source voltage has been applied between this drain and source terminal. So basically, this is the 3-terminal device, not the 4-terminal device. So why we are not considering the top gate? First of all, the top gate fabrication is quite difficult, and it needs a lot of high-end fabrication facility. And also, this is not required for sensor application, because we need our channel or sensing layer should be exposed to the ambient, because it will sense some gases or vapor. So this layer should be exposed. If we consider a top gate over it by covering it with some dielectric layer and some metal, then the sensing possibility will reduce effectively, and that will not be considered for the sensor. So this is the main difference in our fabricated device and the initially discussed device. So the whole thing, all the FET, what I am going to discuss here, all will be backgated device. So now the here we are considering almost a single or few layer graphene oxide, which has been deposited. The 0.2 weight % stable solution of graphene oxide has been considered. Graphene is insoluble in water, but when it formed the oxide, then it becomes soluble, and then we can deposit by spray or spin coating over the SiO2 substrate or any other substrate. Okay, so here we are considering the silicon dioxide layer thickness is 90 nanometer. That type of wafer we purchase, and the property resistivity of this PSI has also been given here. That is in a few ohm centimeter. These are very standard. Now, this particular experiment, we reduce this graphene oxide to reduce graphene oxide by using hydrogen hydrate as a reducing agent. Okay, so now I have already discussed few portion from the backside has been aced up for taking the back gate contact. So the whole structure has been formed, and the top gate, that is top terminal, source and drain terminal, was deposited by depositing gold as a layer. Its thickness was around 150 to 200 nanometer, and it was deposited by electron beam evaporation unit and by using molybdenum physical mask. Now, this is the property of the graphene and reduced graphene oxide layer, which was deposited or which was used in the FET structure. This is the realistic view of this graphene layer. This white portion is the SiO2 layer, and this black part is the graphene oxide. Of course, when the situation is slightly more dark, so you can say that is double layer. This is more darker, that means this is more than 2 layers. So most of the graphene oxide what we use here is a single layer. Single layer means this is atomically thin layer. Okay, but they are 2D in nature. So by using scanning electron micrograph, we are able to capture this image. Okay, so now this is the realistic view, and this is the AFM image, atomic force microscopy image. There also we can see identify the single and double layer by using the color contrast. And here this is the thickness measurement. So there is a step measurement. You can see here the depth is showing 1.5 nanometer. Actually, the graphene layer thickness is quite small. It's around 0.3, 0.4 nanometer, but we are getting this high thickness because the material is oxidized in form. So basically, the graphene, its top and bottom layer, is functionalized with oxygen atoms. So that's why it shows 1.5 nanometer thickness. This is the Raman spectroscopy measurement. This is very, very important characterizations associated with graphene and graphene oxide. Because without this Raman spectroscopy characterization, we can't characterize graphene. So here we are showing the two characteristics peak of graphene, that is D peak and G peak. G peak is associated with sp2 hybridization of carbon, and D peak is associated with defects. Basically, their ratio, ID and IG ratio, is increasing in case of reduced graphene oxide. That is one type of indication for the reduction of the material. There is another indications, the peaks are shifted slightly, so that can also another indication. But however, if we see that DG peak is coming in this format, so we can confirm the material is graphene or graphene oxide. Okay. So now this is the another characterization is called the XPS or X-ray photoelectron spectroscopy. This is another very important characterization which can say which type of functionalized group is available over the graphene or graphene oxide surface. So here in our analysis, we are getting this first peak, which is very high intense peak. It can represent the CC bonding, that is carbon-carbon bonding, that indicating the sp2 hybridized carbon. But other three peak is representing the different functionalized condition, that is CO, C double bond O, COO, that epoxy, alkoxy, etc. Okay, so these are the different possibility, and in this form, the surface become functionalized and the graphene converted to graphene oxide. Okay, so these oxidized groups of sp3 hybridization played the major role in gas or vapor sensing. So now these are the device structure, and this is the material characteristics, which type of sensing layer we have used. Now we will discuss the basic principle of sensing or gas sensing. Then it will be helpful to relate our device performance for our particular fabricated device, and how the gas sensing can perform. We will be able to relate. So by explaining this basic principle of operation. So here I have summarized different sensing application: the biomedical sensors, chemical sensors, photo detectors for optical communications. These are the multiple applications of graphene or graphene oxide field effect transistors. As we are considering the chemical sensor for our application, so I will discuss very briefly the basic principle or basic operating principle. You can compare this structure of a chemical sensor. This structure can compare with the FET device. Only difference, the backgate is not considered here. Only we are considering one substrate, one sensing layer, and there is lot of oxygen species are existing. Okay, so this oxygen species I have already discussed in the last slide, that can also be available to the top of the graphene oxide layer. Okay, so our sensing layer is can consider as the graphene oxide or reducing graphene oxide layer, and these are the oxygen functionalized group top of this surface. And this situation we consider in air ambient. This oxygen functionalized group will be more in number in air ambient, because we know there is a lot of the air is 20% oxygen, so this can easily be available. Now in the target gas or vapor ambient, which we want to detect, they can be classified in two forms, that are gases and vapor. They may be reducing gas or they may be oxidizing gas. Oxidizing gas is very limited in number: oxygen, NO2, etc. These are the ozone. These are the example of oxidizing gas. And rest of the remaining gases and vapor like hydrogen, methane, any volatile organic compounds, everything are the reducing type. So the reducing gas basically react with the surface oxygen and remove in form of some stable compound like H2O and CO2. So what happened? The oxygen species are removed now from the sensing layer surface. So in the first case, in air ambient, when the oxygen species was available, this is called the adsorptions, and this adsorptions was responsible for capturing the free electron over the sensing layer surface. So the resistance we measured between these two metal contact, that was quite high. But when in target gas or vapor ambient, when the oxygen species are removed from the surface, so the free electrons are again back to the sensing layer. And if we measure the resistance between these two electrode, then we will see the resistance is quite low. So the difference of this resistance, Ra minus Rg, A indicate the air and G indicate the gas, or this second condition. So the Ra minus Rg by Ra or del R by R is the response or sensitivity of the sensor. So this is the basic mechanism of any chemical sensor. Now this change of resistance can be represented in form of change of current also. If the resistance change, if we apply a constant voltage between two electrodes, then obviously the current will also change. So we can represent this response in form of current. Now the same principle we will apply for the graphene field effect transistor sensors. So we are considering different ambient effect on RGO FET. So here in our experiment, we considered the drain to source voltage constant 1.4 millivolt, which is constant for all the cases. And the gate to source voltage was varying from 0 to some value of 20 or 24 volt in the first case. First case means this is the measurement was happened at 25 degrees centigrade, second one at 75 degrees centigrade, third one at 125 degrees centigrade. Okay, and the measurement was performed in different ambient. Synthetic air is the 80% nitrogen and 20% oxygen. Argon, you know, that is the inert gas. There we can consider that is oxygen free ambient, and last one is the oxygen ambient, pure oxygen. Okay, so of course there will be some deviation in the IDVGS characteristics. So first you have to relate these IDVGS characteristics with our previous discussion. In the previous discussion, we considered the gate to source voltage. When it was small, the device showed p-type behavior. And with increase of gate to source voltage, electron was injected, and we found one point where the carrier concentration was minimum. Electron and hole was minimum. At that point was the Dirac point we discussed. And then further increase of the gate to source voltage, then the electron become the majority carrier. And we are getting this type of rapid increment of the current. I have shown this short 3-layer structure of this graphene oxide field effect transistor. We have considered the RGO, we have considered the SI channel region. Okay, so now if we apply the gate to source voltage between this will be like a simple capacitive structure. The simple capacitive structure, if we increase the voltage, considering the p-type substrate or gate as positive and channel as negative, then obviously with increase of the gate voltage, the electron concentration will increase in the RGO terminal. Okay, this is the simple capacitive action. So that thing is happening here. Initially, the graphene oxide is p-type in nature because of lot of oxygen species was absorbed over the surface. So the effective electron concentration was reduced and hole concentration was high. So initially it was p-type in nature. With increase of gate to source voltage, the current become decreased, and here the minimum point is called the Dirac point, and then onward current is increased. There is no significant effect of this ambient at this low temperature or room temperature, 25 degrees centigrade. But when the temperature is 75 degrees centigrade, then the surface reaction possibility was increased significantly. And now there is a significant difference in different ambient. In argon ambient, the oxygen free ambient, that is, so the whole concentration was initially low. So we achieve the Dirac point before the other. So then after achieving the Dirac point, it starts to increase rapidly when the electron is the majority carrier. Now this is the synthetic air and the oxygen. They are also following the same trend. At 125 degrees centigrade, they are also showing some ambient related variation, keeping the IDVGS same. Okay, so this is the ambient effect with temperature we are showing here for this device. This is the Dirac point versus temperature variation. So here we can see around 75 or 80 degrees centigrade is the temperature where the Dirac point variation is maximum. So that temperature we should choose for the sensing application. Now I will show the practical sensing, because earlier we considered 3 different ambient like oxygen, argon, and some synthetic air. Now here we are considering the synthetic air as compared to our target gas or VOC, that is methanol. we want to detect methanol by using these sensors. So here, this is a 50 ppm, 150 ppm, and 250 ppm are the different concentrations we consider for the for the detection by using this graphene oxide field effect transistor sensor. So what we are getting here, the similar ID VGS curve we are getting at 75 degrees centigrade, 100 degrees centigrade, and 125 degrees centigrade. Okay, so now we measure the sensitivity or response by using the same formula what I have discussed in the previous slide, the change of current by the initial current. So now that thing was done by considering the current at each and every point of the VGS, and this was compared with the synthetic air value because this is the baseline condition and these are the target gas condition. Now the sensitivity curve is showing there is a particular voltage where the sensitivity is maximum. This thing is shown at different temperature. At 75 degrees centigrade, here is the maximum sensitivity. 125 degrees centigrade, here is the maximum sensitivity. So at particular gate voltage, we are getting the sensitivity is maximum, and we should fix that particular gate voltage to getting the highest sensitivity in case of sensing. That thing we did now. In case of here we are feeding to peak for 100 degrees centigrade case, and we are getting the gate to source voltage at 5 volt and gate to source voltage as 13 volt. We are getting the maximum sensitivity. Now we tested our sensor at that particular gate voltage, keeping the drain to source voltage fixed. Drain to source voltage was 1.4 millivolt for throughout the experiment. So now this is the gate to source voltage 0. No gate voltage was applied. It was behaved like a two-terminal device. Methanol was on and methanol was off. It's showing the 1.95% sensitivity. Of course, majority carrier is whole. Now we set the gate to source voltage 5 volt. Drain to source voltage is identical, 1.4 millivolt. Now we are getting the sensitivity by the same device is 127.93%. Okay, that is the sensitivity amplification. So high sensitivity we are getting by this sensor due to this setting of the gate to source voltage at 5 volt instead of 0 volt. Now the gate to source voltage is fixed as 13 volt and we are getting the sensitivity 82.38%. That is this area. So here we are also getting the sensitivity amplification. So this is one novel technique what we propose, and this is published in IEEE Transaction on Electron Device for showing this amplified sensitivity by using a graphene field effect transistor. Okay, so this technique was actually explained by using some mechanism, simple mechanism. I can discuss very briefly. Here, actually, you can see the energy band diagram of graphene oxide. This is slightly different as compared to the pure graphene what I have shown, because graphene oxide have the optical band gap. This band gap is quite high, 3.8 electron volts. So the conduction band and valence band has been shifted, showing this band gap. Okay, and this is the graphene oxide layer. This is different functionalized group is here. And now we are considering in air ambient when the gate to source voltage is 0. Of course, the Fermi level location will be closer to the valence band. Okay, so you can see the hole concentration is much more. That is a blue positive sign as compared to the negative sign. This is the direct point when the VGS is equal with direct point and electron and hole concentration is equal in air ambient. Fermi level is exactly located at center. And this is the methanol ambient or reducing ambient when the VGS is fixed at the direct point voltage, but due to the injection of few electron by surface reaction by the methanol, the Fermi level is shifted towards the valence band. Okay, so this is the movement. So now if we compare, if we apply the methanol ambient with a direct VGS equal to 0 condition, their shifting of the Fermi level will be very limited because large number of hole concentration and some addition of the electron concentration will not be so effective. But if we consider this condition as the initial condition, that is at the VGS equal to V direct, that electron concentration and hole concentration is very small and they are equal and cancelling each other. At that point, the change of the gas electron concentration due to the exposure of any target gas will be very significant and it will show the amplified sensitivity. This is the actually mathematical representation of the amplified sensitivity, but I'm not explaining all those detailed mechanism. I have very small time, so quickly I will show some hybrid FET. Actually, that was the graphene oxide based field effect transistor. Here I will show the hybrid FET, where the metal oxide and the graphene oxide, their composite will be used as the channel material. This particular work I will show for achieving very high on-off ratio for one bipolar junction, one field effect transistor. Actually, what happened in case of graphene field effect transistor, there is a very limited on-off ratio, because the zero band gap of graphene is responsible for this poor on-off ratio, because the zero band gap is difficult to off the device at particular voltage. Okay, so we know the direct point voltage is the off condition, but that is very difficult to get a very low current at that point. Okay, so multiple approaches has been taken for increasing the band gap in graphene. One technique is geometric patterning. That means the formation of graphene nanoribbons. That means graphene itself is 2D materials. Now, just to pattern them to make it to represent in form of one-dimensional structure. So, due to the quantum confinement effect, the band gap should increase. But all this approach can show the on-off ratio around 100. Okay, at room temperature, not more than that. Also, the applied voltage for this type of graphene or GNR graphene nanoribbon FETs is plus minus 40 volt. So that is another significant limitations for the graphene field effect transistor to use in mainstream electronics. Okay, the on-off ratio is very poor, okay, as compared to other conventional device. So in this context, our research is showing some hybrid graphene channel which can show quite a high on-off ratio. So you can see here the materials that we have fabricated as a channel material is a composite of graphene oxide and the titanium dioxide nanoparticle. This is the pure graphene oxide FESEM or scanning electron micrograph I have already shown. And this is the composites. The table has shown which type of composites they are. TG is 0.5 is showing that 99.5 weight% of percentage of graphene or 0.28% concentration, and this TiO2 titanium dioxide is a metal oxides is mixed here 0.5 volume%. TG1 is 99 and 1, and TG5 is 95 and 5. So they are the 4 samples, and TG0 is the pure graphene oxide. They are the 3 materials. Their physical image is showing here. So slowly the titanium dioxide or metal oxide concentration has been increased from here to here to here. Okay, so in that way, the TiO2 concentration has been increased, and we are claiming that we are getting better on-off ratio by using this hybrid channel instead of pure graphene oxide. So these are the TEM image. So they're showing the crystallinity, and this is the Raman spectroscopy. Raman spectroscopy is showing the DG peak equally what I explained in the previous slides. But additionally, they are showing the peaks related to the titanium dioxides at the lower wavelength, lower wave number. And this is the UV visible spectroscopy to estimate the band gap. Band gap is increasing in the composite material. You can see here the optical band gap is increasing 3.6 to some other slightly high value. Now here the exact result what we found here in this hybrid graphene field effect transistor. This is the ITVGS characteristics. You can see this characteristics is looking slightly different. Okay, so it's showing slightly here. This is V shape, but these are the looking like a U shape. Okay, so for incorporation of the metal oxides, they are showing some U-shape structure. Actually, the bottom part is not showing in the linear scale representation. So we have represented in log scale. Now the whole thing is easy to understand. Now, this type of device is a depletion mode device. Okay, depletion enhancement mode, you know that depletion is normally on device. So when the gate to source voltage is 0, the device is on and it's showing some current. And then when gate to source voltage is reaching at that particular value, then the device is off and it's showing the minimum current. Okay, and from this on and off current, the ratio is the on-off ratio. Okay, so here the on-off ratio is measured for all these four devices are basically 67, that is pure graphene oxide, 700, so this is TG 0.5, 2800 for TG1, and 1350 for TG5. So we are getting the 2800, that is 10 to the power 3 in order. If we compare with our literature, that shows 100 on-off ratio. We are claiming we are getting the 2800 on-off ratio for our hybrid FET, and that has been represented here, the on-off ratio, and the transconductance has also been calculated by considering the change of current with change of voltage, and that is also showing quite an appreciable value. Okay, and this is the ID VDS characteristics. This is the linear characteristics for getting the graphene oxide, but incorporation of metal oxides, it started to show some non-linearity, and this is showing a very high non-linearity in its behavior. So basically, here is the important results of this particular hybrid graphene oxide field effect transistor, what we have obtained. So this is our device structure, the graphene channel in between drain and source, and these are the titanium dioxide nanoparticles decorated top and bottom side of this graphene layer. So if we explode, actually this will show looking like this, that these are the TiO2 nanoparticles, and this is the graphene oxide layers. Okay, so now here we can consider two types of junctions here, TiO2 and graphene. This type of junctions may possible where the nanoparticles, TiO2 nanoparticles are at top and bottom. And this is the another type of structure when the TiO2 nanoparticles is linkage between two graphene layers, because graphene layers are not exactly continuous. They are separated and discrete but overlapped. So here the TiO2 is make a link between them. Here the energy band diagram is showing based on the work function and electron affinity of these materials, getting from literature and by getting from our own measurement, we can see the electron flow to reach the equilibrium condition is in this direction. Based on this initial representation of the graphene oxide and the TiO2 heterojunctions, we have explained the whole mechanism why we are getting so high on-off ratio. These are the four different conditions, and their corresponding energy band diagram is showing here. And I'm not explaining this because it needs a lot of time and a lot of concept for the whole understanding. But anyway, this junction, that is graphene, TiO2 and graphene, this linkage type junction have a greater role for improving the on-off ratio. So these are the thing, and I have actually 2-3 more different types of structure, but I think time is already over. So I will ask organizing committee that should I conclude it? Shall I conclude now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I'm skipping this 2-3 thing because the hybrid thing I have already discussed. So here actually another hybrid junctions we considered that different noble metals along with graphene oxide field effect transistors, and this is the ternary hybrid noble metals, metal oxides, and graphene oxide. Actually, the mechanisms and other thing is almost same. The complexity level was increased because different junctions was formed. So this thing is maybe slightly more complicated to understand within this small time period. So however, I can summarize and conclude this my discussion. So the graphene oxide, reduced graphene oxide channel exhibit the tunable carrier density with ambipolar transport by the change of gate to source voltage. Okay, so this type of ITVGS characteristics is called the is represent the ambipolar behavior. That means at certain gate to source voltage, it show one type of polarity, hole is the majority carrier, and another VGS, it show the electron is the majority carrier. So this is called the ambipolar behavior and ambipolar transport. Okay, so our graphene and reduced graphene oxide based field effect transistor shows the ambipolar behavior. At low carrier density of channel, the exchange of carriers due to the surface adsorptions and desorptions is significant and amplify sensitivity at typical gate to source voltage. At the low carrier density channel, the exchange of strong influence over the channel, so it can change the channel carrier concentration, and that sensitivity or that change can easily amplify by using suitable gate voltage. So that is the sensitivity amplification mechanism. Another is the graphene oxide PTiO2 hybrid field effect transistors exhibited extraordinarily high on-off current ratio, that is into 2.8 multiplied 10 to the power 3 order of on-off ratio at 300 Kelvin. So in depletion mode operation, the FET was in depletion mode. So these are the three conclusive statements of my work, and these are the two other conclusive statements related to other work, as I have not discussed that. So I'm skipping this. So here few selective publications what me and my group published in last 4-5 years. So a few papers is based on this area. This is one paper, and few are in under communication. Okay, and here is acknowledging our funding agencies. They are the multiple government funding agencies like DST, DBT, Department of Biotechnology, MHRD, Ministry of Human Resource Development, and ACRB Board, Science, Engineering Science Research Board. So all they are funded our research. So here, this is my small group in BITS, and thank you. Thanks to all of you. Here, if you have some questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Participants, if you have any queries, kindly switch on your mic and get clarified from sir. Feedback form will be shared in this forum. After the session, kindly fill it. The feedback form won't be shared in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Participant can may interact with Arnab Hazra sir.
Sir, good evening, sir. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Sir, I have a question. And in your previous slides, few slides back, you have mentioned that in applications like biomedical, we can able to use this kind of technique. Can you give some examples for that?
It's not clear here. The biomedical sensor is this?
Yeah, you have mentioned that applications of this is biomedical sensors.
No, examples means biomedical sensors. It can be used for the detection of different biological species. It can be useful for the detection of DNA, some other thing, but I don't have greater knowledge in biological thing. So I can't exactly explain what type of species can be detected. But the mechanism is very similar because it can change its electrical property due to the presence of different biomedical species. They may directly interact, or they may interact through some another gate layer. So, but anyway, it can show very highly sensitive because it can change its electrical property very frequently. So it have this graphene FET has a very much acceptability in biomedical sensors, but the structure what I have discussed, it should be different because the biological things should not be treated in that way, because our device is a solid state sensors, because we are considering everything in gaseous phase, so they can directly comes to the exposure of the sensing layer, but the biomedical thing is sometime in liquid form. It should not come to the direct contact of the layer, so the structure of the device will be different. If you search in Google for the biomedical applications of graphene field effect transistor, you will get a lot of papers. Okay, So in that way, you can proceed on that application. That is one possible application. But what I have discussed, that is completely as chemical sensors. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Any queries from other participants? Parthibaraj?
Sir.
Ah, okay. Hope no one have any more query regarding this. Can
Okay.
you switch on your all of you kindly switch on your video for taking a photo, group photo for our program. Participants. Kindly turn on your video. Parthibaraj. Parthibaraj, are you there?
Sir.
Okay. None participants have turn on the video. It's not an issue for it's not an issue. Kindly you wind up the session. You have a vote of thanks.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Good evening to all. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. I would like to thank our management for presenting for permitting us to conduct the webinar for hybrid graphene field effect transistor in his glorious way. I would like to thank our chief guest, Dr. Arnav Hasra from Pilani, for being here, although in his busy schedule. Without you, sir, this event is impossible. Thank you so much. Next, I would like to thank our Dean, HOD, and all the faculty members who all are worked for this great event successful completion. Thank you for all. Last but not least, I would like to thank all the participants from various colleges and state. Thank you all. Keep supporting us. Without you, this event success is impossible. One announcement: within 2 days, your e-certificate will be sent to your registered mail ID. Thank you. Thank you all.
Parthibaraj, they have to fill their feedback form. The form link is shared in chat box.
Your feedback link is shared in chat box. Wait a minute.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, participants. Thank you all.
Thanks to all of you.
Sir, any feedback link, sir?
Yes, I'll share.
Yes, sir. It's shared in chat box, sir. It's shared in chat box. Kindly check it.
Sir, I'm not able to get the link, sir.
Just
Can
a minute.
you-
Just
Sir, here there is no chat bar.
There is no chat box available, sir.
Yes, sir.
just a minute. I'll share.
Excuse me, sir. We are not able to get any link in the chat box, sir. Kindly do a needful thing, sir.
Wait a minute, ma'am. Wait a minute, ma'am. We are checking on that.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Can you able to see the form, ma'am? Link.
Can you visible, ma'am?
Take a snapshot of it, sir.
Ma'am?
If you are able to share it, then it is easy for us to give the feedback.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine.
We are searching on that one. Wait a minute, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Or else we share in.
Mail, sir.
Wait a minute, ma'am.
Yeah, okay.
Three dots.
Ma'am, shall I leave, ma'am?
No problem, sir. We will send it through mail, sir.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
sir. It will be better for us to send through mail, sir.
Okay, okay. We will send it through
Thank you,
mail.
sir.
Ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir,
Parthiban. We can share the link through WhatsApp and mail.
okay, sir.
Okay, pa.
Sir, what I shared in chat box,